Hello, my young disciples, and welcome to today's children's sermon. What do you guys like to say yes to? Maybe if your mom asked you, hey, do you want to go to the park? You come running and shout, yes! If your grandparents came to town for summer and they asked you, hey, do you want to go to Snack Shack and get some ice cream? You would come running and shout, yes! If your dad asked you, hey, do you want to spend your birthday at Disney World? You would come running and shout, yes! It's easy to say yes to fun things like ice cream and parks and Disney World, but sometimes God asks us to say yes to things that are a little harder. Today, we're going to learn about the story of Mary because she said yes when God asked her to do a super important job.
And now it's time for Bible Stories with Em. Today's Bible story comes from the Gospel of Luke. So there was a young woman, and her name was Mary. She lived in the middle of nowhere town called Nazareth, and she was also engaged to a man called Joseph. One day, Mary was about minding her own business, probably doing chores like hanging up the laundry or washing the dishes or feeding her sheep.
Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow.
When the angel Gabriel appeared before her.
Greetings, favored one, the Lord is with you.
Most people get scared when they see an angel, but not Mary. Mary was confused.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Wait, she's not scared of me? That is not the reaction I normally get. Most people are all terrified when they see an angel for the first time. They're like, it's an angel. I'm so terrified. But she's just standing there. She looks confused. Maybe she's so scared that she just froze. Like a deer in the headlights. She doesn't know who those are yet, but you know, I'm just gonna go on the spiel, see how it goes. See how she responds. Okay. Get it together, Gabriel. Don't be afraid, Mary, for God has found favor with you. You're going to have a baby, and his name's going to be Jesus. Jesus will be the Son of the Most High God, and God is going to give him David's kingdom to reign and rule forever and ever, just like he promised.
Mary thought this was very cool, but she had a question.
Well, Mr. Gabriel, sir, that is wonderful news, but how can it be? Because I'm a virgin, and I'm not married yet. All of this will happen through the power of the Holy Spirit. Even your relative Elizabeth has conceived a child in her old age, for nothing is impossible with God. I am the Lord's servant. Let it be done to me as you have said. Wow, isn't that an incredible story? God asked Mary to be the mother of Jesus, and Mary said yes, even though taking care of a baby is a lot of work. Mary would have to carry Jesus in her body for 9 months, and after he was born, she would have to feed him and change his stinky diapers and make sure that his motor skills were developing properly. Mary did all of the incredible things that our moms do for us for the baby Jesus. She could have said no to God's plan for her to be Jesus' mom. She didn't have to do it, but she said yes to God's big plan for her life, even though it would be a lot of hard work. Jesus has already been born, so God doesn't need to ask any of us to be his parents anymore. But that doesn't mean that God doesn't have big plans for your life that he's calling you into right now. For example, God might be calling you to be kind to the kid in your class that nobody really talks to. Or God might be calling you to shovel their neighbor's sidewalk when it snows outside because they can't really leave their house. Or God might be calling you to give some of your own money to a local charity organization this year. As you guys grow up, God will call you to do a lot of things in your life. And some of those things might be big and life-changing, while others might be small and ordinary. But just like Mary, you can say yes and jump into God's big plans for your life. Pasi ciao, my young disciples. I'll see you next week. If your dad asks you if you want to spend Disney World at your birthday, I want to spend all of Disney World. Disney World is now a form of currency.